Good morning. I am Laura Feldman. I use she, her pronouns. And I'd like to welcome you to Bucksmont Unitarian Universalist Fellowship's multi-platform worship, where, moved by love, we share lifelong journeys of growth, wonder, and healing, nurturing wholeness in society and spirit, creating a community of justice and compassion. I'd like to give a welcome to everyone joining us online and in person today. Members, friends, and those who may be newcomers to our community this morning. As we begin our service, please take a moment to silence your cell phones. If you are new to Bucksmont and visiting us in person today, please stop by our Visitors Center in the front hallway near where you came in. There you can also make a name tag for yourself and find more information about Unitarian Universalism, Bucksmont Fellowship, and upcoming events. If you'd like a hymnal or a printed order of service, those are available near the entrance to the sanctuary. If you are visiting us online or prefer digital methods, please email our office administrator, Beverly, to sign up for our email newsletter and get connected to our congregation. You may also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Bucksmont UU. Each week in our service, we offer time for people to share a joy or sorrow from their lives by texting a phone number. That number is shared on screen for everyone now and will be again later in the service. If you would like to see the order of service, details about upcoming services, and other ways to gather with our community, you can find that on the homepage of our website, www.bucksmont.uu.org. There's a lot happening at Bucksmont, and we'd like to highlight this announcement in particular. The members' congregations of Power Bucks are working together this summer to support the Interfaith Food Alliance Food Pantry in Morrisville, PA. This worthy program focuses on providing supplement food to Morrisville School District families identified as food insecure. Please help by bringing canned goods to the fellowship through July 5th. Together with other congregations, we can have a big impact. See Melissa Egbertson or Pat Lathrop for more information. Whether you are a guest, friend, or member, we are glad you are part of our worship service today.
As we gather in our sanctuary, in our homes, or watch from mobile screens almost anywhere, we are all together. Those watching now on Sunday and those who may be watching months from now. We are joined together for worship across both space and time. This is a free, creedless, religious congregation. In the discipline of truth and the spirit of universal kinship, we join together in a cooperative quest for religious and ethical values, seeking to apply these values to the development of character, enrichment of the spirit, and service to all. You are welcome here, whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever the color of your skin or your country of origin, no matter your gender identity or gender expression, whatever your age, however you define family, wherever you are at this time, and whatever the source of your faith, you are welcome here.
This morning, as we do each time we gather, we kindle our Unitarian Universalist chalice. We do so today acknowledging the recent summer solstice with words from Aletha Blessing. I draw the summer sun into my soul and hold my power high today as solstice energy courses through my veins and connects me to the ancients, my ancestors, and all who have gone before. I am divinely alive. I feel the warmth of my beloved sun and its rays dance upon my skin on this, the longest days of the year. Please light your chalice at home. Our common chalice is now lit.
As we sing Morning Has Come, hymn number 1000. Morning has come, arise and greet the day. Dance with joy and sing a song of gladness. The light of hope here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. A new day dawns, once more the gift is given. Wonder fills this moment shared together. The light of peace here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. Open our eyes to see that life abounds. Open hearts to welcome it among us. The light of love here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home.
It's time for all ages, everyone. Come on over. Welcome Welcome, everyone. It's good to see all of your beautiful faces today. So, who would like to open the Wonder Box today? I think it's been a very long time for Harrison. Why don't you come on over? What is all this? Bubbles. Yeah. Here, should we make some bubbles? Yeah? Do you know how that one works? There you go. Here, spread a whole bunch. So, there are some big ones. So why are bubbles in the Wonder Box today? Okay, hold on. Oh, all right. Let's back up just a little. Oh, thank you, Mandy Lee. All right. So why are there bubbles in the Wonder Box today? What's cool about bubbles? Here. Yeah, they're all different sizes. Ooh. Yeah, they can be different shapes. Let it come off, guys. Back it up, back it up, back it up. There we go. Okay, so bubbles, what do you do with bubbles? They pop them. Do you guys play with bubbles? Yeah. Do you guys play with bubbles more in the summertime or in the wintertime? Yeah. So bubbles are kind of like summer in a lot of ways, aren't they? How do you think bubbles are like summer? They kind of remind us of beach balls, yeah? Does summer last very long? No. Do bubbles last very long? No. Are bubbles kind of magical? Yeah. Is summer kind of magical? Yeah? What do we see inside of bubbles? Rainbows, yeah. Aren't they really pretty? Yeah.
May I have a turn?
Sure.
May I have a turn?
All right. I debated bringing up lots of bubbles, but I was nervous that they would all get spilled. So, there we go. So, bubbles are very magical, just like summer. And they're temporary, just like summer. And you play with them. Just like in summer, there's a lot of playtime. Playing and bubbles all tend to get associated with what? Who are you guys? Who are you guys? Kids, yes. So, do you think our adults in the congregation need more bubbles and more summer and more kids? Yeah. Can we send some bubbles to the adults behind us? Send some bubbles that way. All right. So, for all of everyone here, whether bubbles are part of your daily summer existence or not, I hope we all remember that summer is fleeting and we get to play as much as we want. We don't have to be little to play with bubbles. Everyone can make some bubbles using some dish soap and water. So, there we go. All right, and I think on that note, we are ready to head downstairs. Thank you. As you go on your way, may you be filled with gladness. Go enjoy, go enjoy. May fortune bless your day with peace and loving kindness. Go in love, go in love. As you go on your way, may you be filled with gladness. Go enjoy, go enjoy. May fortune bless your day with peace and loving kindness. Go in love, go in love.
The offering in liberal religion is a vital part of our history of faith. As a covenant community, people who freely choose to be here, our voluntary giving is symbolic of that freedom of choice. Each week at Bucksmont, we share our offering with a different cause or organization in the community. For the month of June, we are sharing with Be a Part of the Conversation. Be a Part of the Conversation is a collaboration of community leaders, families, educators, and addiction experts who believe that having meaningful, inclusive conversations about substance use will support individuals and their families in their efforts to develop healthy coping skills and access support wherever there is a need. The mission of Be a Part of the Conversation is to equip families and communities in Pennsylvania with skills and resources to understand substance use, addiction, and related health issues. They provide community programs, foster supportive connections, highlight lived experiences, and challenge stigma. We ask that you participate in our morning offering in one of these ways. You can write out a check to Bucksmont and mail it into the fellowship. You may donate online now or at the end of our worship service, or you may place your donation into one of the baskets as they are passed. We will now receive the morning offering. Due to generous donations of both time and money. For the many ways that you contribute and how it sustains this fellowship, we are truly grateful. This morning's reading is Rope Swing by Marcia Mira. Sailing up into the blue summer sky, hot rope rough against his hands, he shouts with joy and lets go. For a crystal moment, he hangs suspended, frozen in time, like a fly in amber. All awkward angles, shoulder blades and elbows and knobby knees painted against the sky, heart filled with fierce joy. Dropping down into clear green water, cold on his skin, he sinks to the silty bottom and sits suspended in an alien world, watching the silvered flashes of tiny fish darting to and fro, startled by his sudden appearance. I am a fish too, he thinks, and holds his breath as long as he can. Finally, he rockets up through the stream of tickling bubbles, breaking the surface of the water with a loud whoop of childish exuberance. All thoughts of becoming a fish forgotten as he scrambles out, shakes the water from his hair, and grinning, hitches up his baggy shorts. He is ready to do it all again, flying through the summer air, dropping into the cold water to commune with fishes silvered in refracted light, then leaping to the surface, a boy of 10 once more, laughing through an endless summer made perfect by a cool green pond with an old rope swing.
Along the back fence line of my childhood home, there was a lilac bush. I have fond memories of cutting flowers for the table in the spring, but I truly loved it in the summer. It was more like 2 or 3 bushes that formed an opening in the back by the fence. If you squeezed behind the bush, there was a nice kid spaced in the center. This was my hiding place from my 3 younger siblings, my personal fort, made comfortable by my sit-upon that I crafted at Campfire Girl meeting. I would sit in the leafy green shade for hours, reading, making friendship bracelets, daydreaming, and just watching the light filter through the leaves. When I think of summer, that is what I remember. The warmth of the sun, the buzzing of the insects, the coolness of the dirt at the roots, the light in the leaves, and the faint smell of chlorine from the nearby pool. I stayed there with no agenda other than to just be, and that time felt magical. These cherished memories of summer, they encapsulate a simplicity and a joy that often seems lost in our busy adult lives. Today I want to talk about how we can reclaim that essence of summer, those slow magical moments, even amidst our responsibilities and the constant hustle. The past few years, I'll find myself looking at the calendar in September, wondering where the summer went. It feels like summer never quite started, but what marks the start of summer? Is it the solstice that just passed? Is it Memorial Day weekend with the barbecues? Is it the first trip down the shore, or the first time you hear the music from the ice cream truck? For me, the start of summer was marked by that final school bell, the last class dismissal, that dramatic transition from the end of school, the relief of the final exam of the year, and lifting of all that academic pressure signaled the true beginning of summer. As an adult without young children, there's no clear transition like that to mark the start of summer. Deadlines continue, meetings persist, and while I do get vacation time, vacations as an adult require planning, often done by me. Groceries still need to be bought, dinners still need to be made, and my days have lost that meandering, soft quality they had for the first 20-something years of my life. During childhood, my days were mostly unstructured. Yes, there were significant summer events like trips to the zoo, fireworks, going down the shore, but summer was primarily about leisure. Even summer jobs felt more like hanging out with friends than actual work. As an adult, my days are still filled with those significant events, but personally, I find there's almost no unstructured, lazy days anymore. Without them, summer no longer feels like summer. The energy of the season just feels off, and the restorative aspect of summer is gone. It can feel hectic and rushed, and like I'm just holding on and riding it out. You blink and you miss it, and it can be exhausting and feel me leaving burnt out. And leave me feeling burned out. I know I'm not alone in this. Many working adults experience specifically summer burnout. Dr. Helen Ofaso, an applied social psychology professor with a specialization in industrial and organizational psychology, notes, for the average adult, summer doesn't necessarily mean a break. Over the years, I've seen a common trend where many professionals experience some form of burnout during the summer, either feeling distracted, unmotivated, or overwhelmed. Dr. Faso further explains, often summer's rise in temperature matches the increased need to find a balance between work and personal demands. Then there's the additional stress due to the unspoken assumption that we should just all appear happy about it because, hey, it's summer. Unfortunately, not everyone can manage the multitasking of extra fun without feeling overwhelmed by the added demands on their time. I know the last 2 summers in particular, I looked at the calendar posted up on our fridge and saw every weekend was filled and accounted for before the first official day of summer. Summer hadn't even started, and I was already exhausted, and my to-do list was a mile long. What's that, you say? Maybe I should take a vacation? If only it were that simple. In an article for Forge magazine titled, How to Tap into the Joy of Childhood Summer as a Grown-Up, Kristen Wong captures this sentiment. When I plan a trip, I'm so attached to it being the best trip ever that I plan every detail, schedule every excursion. To my credit, vacations are expensive, and time off is precious. You want to make the most of it, and then that becomes the result. It also tends to suck the play and spontaneity out of everything. Yikes, talk about a call-out. So many times upon my return to work, vacations often leave me joking that I need a vacation to recover from my vacation. But the part that really jumped out to me is where she says, it also tends to suck the play and spontaneity out of everything. And isn't play and spontaneity truly what those unstructured summer days of my youth were about? In the same article, Wong states, there's something different about the carefree, go nowhere and do nothing summer vibe of childhood. Back then, without a car or money, there wasn't much you could do but live in the moment. As an adult with a 9-to-5 and responsibilities outside of work, the carefree, go nowhere and do nothing summer vibe is the goal, but it's hard to grasp. The constant busyness and limited downtime erodes the magic of summer over time. And the summer becomes more about checking off a seasonal bucket list of must-dos than the laissez-faire feeling of summers past. I feel like I hold on to those seasonal bucket list items so tightly because I do remember them from my childhood. They were the mile markers of sorts along the way during the summers, and these events still bring me joy. But what's missing is that time in between, those long stretches of just time that made the big events so much more exciting. But what is it about that time, that unstructured time, that makes it so important? Melissa Katcher, a licensed master social worker, says, unstructured time is so much more about the mindset than the activity itself. It's the opposite of productive. It's a low pressure without an objective. Building unstructured time into your schedule has significant benefits to our mental health and overall well-being. Unstructured time allows room in our life for rest and relaxation and leisure activities, which is often the first thing pushed aside when we are too busy. Relaxation and leisure are excellent tools for lowering overall stress, anxiety, and irritability. This time also provides a safe space to try out new ideas. To me, that definition of unstructured time sounds a lot like play. Jeff Harry, a positive play coach, says about adults and play, one way to think about play is an action you do that brings you a significant amount of joy without offering a specific result. A lot of us do everything hoping for a result. It's always, what am I getting out of this? Play has no result. That reminds me of childhood bike rides. We just wanted to go out and ride our bikes. There was no objective, except maybe to go down the big hill as many times as possible. Side note, as an adult, that big hill is not very big. It was so much more impressive when I was little. And right now, you're probably thinking, Mandy, you said you were going to talk about slow moments. What's this about play? Play does not sound slow. Perhaps I should clarify what I mean by slow moments. I don't mean slow activities per se. To me, slow moments have a different energy or vibe from the rest of your schedule. They're those little pockets of time that are disconnected from the busyness, the hustle, the go, 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 go of your everyday life. Slow moments are found in that unstructured time. They're a pause in your day, a chance to catch your breath, and maybe even engage in play. So what does play look like now as an adult? Maybe it means a bike ride with no time limit or mileage goal or a particular destination in mind. Maybe it means reading outside or inside if it's a heat wave. We're not going to go wild here. Perhaps it looks like sitting outside with my app that identifies birdsong. Birding has become much more involved in my life as I've gotten older. Didn't see that one coming. Maybe it's bubbles. Maybe I'll make a friendship bracelet. Not with any person in mind or a set number I should make to try and sell as a side hustle, but just for the sheer joy of creating something. For you, that might look different. What is it that would spark joy in you? So we know unstructured time and play is good for us, and we have an idea of what we could possibly do in that time, but where do we begin? How do we rediscover and reclaim those moments in the summer? Dr. Afasu's advice for adults experiencing summer burnout is a good place to start. She says, 1, create some unavailable hours for yourself and stick to them. So you're literally going to block out time where you're unavailable for work, calls, or emails. This could look like taking just time with your coffee in the morning or spending some time in the evening to unwind or connect with nature. Is a whole day too long? Start with a few hours. You don't think you could do a few hours? Try just a couple minutes. 2, don't overschedule yourself. Learn how to say no. This is one of the hardest things to do in the summer. And I know a hard one for a lot of us here at Bucksmont. There are always so many invitations to events, parties, festivals, games, the list goes on. And this is not telling you to say no and shut yourself away for the summer. Remember those trips to the zoo and the fireworks I mentioned earlier? All of those were scheduled. All of those were a yes. But listen to yourself. Know your limits. It's okay to say no if you don't have the time or energy for something. Number 3, the to don't list. This is perhaps my favorite. Dr. Afasu urges you to ask if a task or a job must be done today. Is it possible that it could be done by someone else or at a later time? This isn't saying to shirk all your responsibilities all summer, but there's nothing as dreadful as that feeling of guilt about what you should be doing when you're trying to relax. Think of the to don't list as an out of office. Everything will still be there later, but you want to get the most benefits out of your unstructured time. Give yourself permission to not focus or worry about whatever is on your to don't list for that time. Looking back on that list, it's really a way to help you set boundaries, to allow that unstructured time to show up and stay unstructured. For me, that looks like blank space on a calendar page. Literally, I have blank space on my calendar page. And this year, I'm treating that blank space as sacred. If the feeling I miss most from my childhood is the time where there was no agenda, when the day stretched before me and I could spend time with my thoughts, in nature, in a book, in my imagination, or doing a task that just brings me joy, like those friendship bracelets, that is what I need to carve out and hold space for. So your boundaries are set, your time's set aside. Now what? I know here at Bucksmont we talk a lot about self-care, sacred practices, mindfulness, and being present as part of some folks' spiritual practice. What would that look like if we applied that to summers? Without even knowing it, I think my time spent in that lilac bush as a kid was practicing mindfulness. I may not have been focusing on my breathing or doing a guided meditation, but I was really and truly present within myself. Thinking of it now, it comes back so clearly. The smell of the garden, the feel of the twigs and the leaves, and that stack of newspapers and the red pleather sit upon. When I read a book, I was fully reading the book. I was aware of the feel of the pages beneath my fingers and the smell of the paper. Those moments felt separate from the rest of the day, perhaps because I was aware of every minute. Oftentimes, it was a countdown until a sibling found me. Bringing that presence and mindfulness into whatever activity I chose to do now, to slow down and truly experience that evening walk or the impromptu popsicle party on the stoop. That is where the magic is. That is the special sauce that makes it all come together. To give ourselves that unstructured time, to allow ourselves to play and feel joy just for the sake of those things, to see where the wind may take us in those moments, and to be fully present while doing so. That is how we can rediscover the magic of summer. Kristen Wong sums it up well. Being an adult is hard. It feels nearly impossible to be playful with a heavy work schedule, social obligations, and persistent anxieties of the present times. Part of the reason summer was amazing as a kid was the absence of all that. No responsibility and limited options. As grown-ups, we'll probably never get back to that feeling entirely. But maybe part of reliving it requires less planning, less improving, less pressure to live correctly. The perfect childhood summer was about being along for the adventure, wherever it happened to take you. I, for one, will be making sure to leave some time open on my calendar for more spontaneity and adventure. And I hope you will too. In doing so, we can create our own summer magic, finding tranquility and delight in our busy days.
Rise in body or spirit as we sing hymn number 298, Wake Now My Senses.
Wake now my senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being in all. Keep with the web of creation your vow. Giving, receiving as love shows us how. Wake now my reason, reach out to the new. Join with each pilgrim who quests for the true. Honor the beauty and wisdom of time. Suffer thy limit and praise the sublime. Wake now compassion, give heed to the cry. Voices of suffering fill the white sky. Take as your neighbor both stranger and friend, praying and striving their hardship to end. Wake now my conscience with justice thy guide. Join with all people whose rights are denied. Take not for granted a privileged place. God's love embraces the whole human race. Wake now my vision of ministry clear. Brighten my pathway with radiance here. Mingle my calling with all who will share. Work toward a planet transformed by our care.
Let us now enter into a time of awareness within ourselves and connection beyond boundaries. Connection to one another, to that interdependent web of life of which we are all but one small thread. As we breathe in, we are connected. As we breathe out, we are connected. Today, we will be doing an adapted meditation from Trish Thorpe's Guided Meditation to Embrace Summer. Find a comfortable seat. Close your eyes or let your gaze fall softly to the distance. Settle into your body by connecting with your breath. Slowly inhaling through your nose, slowly exhaling through your mouth. Notice how your body and mind begin to soften and relax. Now visualize yourself someplace in nature during the early summer. You might be walking along a riverbank, sitting in the shade beneath your favorite tree, or standing barefoot in the grass. Allow the light and warmth of the sun to permeate you. Maybe you feel a light breeze across your face and the sound of trickling water or birds chirping from the trees in the distance. Breathe in the balmy warmth of the summer air and settle more deeply into a relaxed state. Begin now to open your heart and mind to what is possible this summer. Invite yourself to dream. What lights you up or makes you come alive? What ignites your creativity? What would you like to create or transform this summer? Now, imagine doing something so wildly spontaneous that it breaks you free from your current routine and catapults you towards something new, exciting, and fun. If you could create anything in your life, what would that be? What would you dare to do? Bring it all together in a picture or a movie clip and watch yourself embracing the fun of summer. See yourself interacting with others, having new adventures, and allowing your playful, childlike nature to come alive. Now ask yourself what you need to do to make it all a reality. What actions do you need to take that is different from how you are living now? Now, as you embrace summer and feel into the excitement of what you can create for yourself, make a commitment of doing one new thing each day or each week that lights you up and makes you happy. When you feel ready, take a few slow, deep breaths and slowly open your eyes. As you return to the room, remember to carry the insights and feelings from the meditation with you as your summer begins, allowing them to inspire and guide you. As we breathe in, we are connected. As we breathe out, we are connected. May our minds create a vision of the world radical enough to be called holy. May our actions contain the promise of hope and the commitment to justice. May our hearts remember that love is a power that resists all forms of fear. By our thoughts, by our actions, by our hearts, and by our very breath, may it be so. As a part of our caring outreach to one another, we set aside a few moments to note both sorrows and joys in our lives. In these moments of peace and reflection, we turn our attention to one another. We hold each and all in our compassionate thoughts and in the prayers of our hearts. This morning, we are dropping stones in water. The bowl includes some of the water we gathered as a community back in September, so it contains the love of our congregation surrounding each joy or sorrow. As we add the stones to the bowl of water, our experiences are given weight and depth. We add a piece of our own memories to those, we add a piece of our own stories to the collective waters of the community, a place that also holds the memories of those who have gone before and anticipates those who have yet to arrive. To share the joy or sorrow you would like held by our caring community, text the number that is now on screen. Please include your name along with your sharing. It is the same number no matter how you join us today, and you can add it to your contacts for future weeks. I will read them aloud, and Laura will add a stone on your behalf. What is shared today will go out in our weekly caring notes for those who cannot be with us this morning. Please remember to include your first and last name with what you share. And now we will add a final stone for all the joys and sorrows that remain unspoken and deep within our hearts. With stones gathered and remembrances shared, we honor our joys and our sorrows, those shared this morning and the many more that exist beyond words. Through our time together, our relationships are deepened and our community made whole.
Rise in body or spirit as we sing hymn number 65, The Sweet June Days. The sweet June days are come again, once more the glad earth yields its golden wealth of ripening grain and breath of clover fields, and deepening shade of summer woods, and glow of summer air, and winging thoughts and happy moods of love and joy and prayer. The sweet June days are come again, the birds are on the wing, bright anthems in their merry strain, and consciously they sing. Oh, how our cup o'erbrims with good these happy summer days, for all the joys of field and wood, we lift our song of praise.
Our chalice extinguishing words this morning are from Tom Lafort. The magic of summer twilight cast a spell in ink blue incantations and honeysuckle dew. Each shadow stretched out like the years that spread deeper and darker, stronger too. As the mystery of day's last light is cast afresh, gentle glows, fearfully goes our sacred time. Hidden there we lose and find ourselves in the murmur of the evening breeze, our lullaby. It sends us, brings us to a mystic place in which we all relive each memory's hue.
As our community departs from this service, may we remember all who came before. May we imagine all who will come after. May we honor all who are present with us here and now. In our time together, we create this community, one of promise, one of commitment, one of joy and play. In our time together, may each of us become a sanctuary for all we meet on the journey. May we go together now and return again.